A new story, so let's update our cast a little bit. The DM is still here, still enabling bad player behavior, and if he wasn't the that guy of the last story, he certainly is in this one. We now have a barbarian who was the awful Oathbreaker paladin in the last story, so now he's a dragonborn barbarian, which is still just as bad. He picks fights with players and is obsessed with having OP magical items. We have the cleric, who played the blood hunter in the last story, and is still switching characters in an annoying amount. And I'm still playing the same human necromancer. Ranger and gunslinger are still the same, and still innocent. For now. After the last session with the death of the paladin and blood hunter, we start off by getting introduced to two new characters. I make it very clear that I do not want him playing another paladin. Besides the fallen Aasimar Oathbreaker, he had also played an equally annoying Scourge Aasimar Vengeance Paladin that attacked an undead PC in a totally different game. That one had the identical personality and might have even been the same character before he broke his oath. I'm not too sure. DM thankfully agrees with me, and he decides to make a barbarian instead. His character is a dragonborn barbarian, who also got a belt of giant strength. Not nearly as bad as the earthquake sword his paladin had, since it's not going to endanger party members, but it does show his extreme need to be the most powerful person at all times. This character's backstory is that he comes from a tribe of red dragonborn who are specifically trained to hunt and kill dragons, particularly metallic dragons, and drink their blood before they rage. This would have been cool if not for one thing: the other new character in the party. Blood Hunter had, for many sessions, been complaining about having to play as Drow Blood Hunter, and how he wanted to change to playing as this half-dragon, swords bard character who somehow changed into a life cleric, but still half-dragon. At least with the Paladin, he was created before my Necromancer, but here it was obvious that the Barbarian was created specifically to have conflict with the Cleric. During his character introduction, he also regularly gets into fights with the DM about how the way he's portraying Dragonborn culture, and that it isn't accurate. DM is doing some sort of honorable Japanese samurai thing for them, which isn't at all what the Barbarian had in mind for his character. At one point, Gunslinger mutes the game since he is so annoyed with all the complaining and arguing. Eventually, all that stops and we move on. With Ranger in the lead, we decide to seek out a safe place to keep the NPC princess before venturing into the Underdark to look for a cure for her. On the way there, we run into Cleric. He sees we're in need of help, and we explain the situation, and him, being a very kind character, offers not only a safe place for the princess, but to accompany us on our journey. He tells us his mom can help and offers us to take her to her. He leads us up to a mountain into a cave. Then he disappears for a bit, saying he's going to find his mom. While he is away, we are left alone in the cave, which we soon realize belongs to a dragon. Ranger stands watch over the princess. I find a book, and Gunslinger and Barbarian decide to go treasure looting. While I am reading this book, I discovered that it is a journal/record that dates back thousands of years, and the author's name is the same name as the cleric gave us when talking about his mom. Through all of what we have learned, it's easy enough for us to figure out that Cleric's mom is an ancient gold dragon. Gunslinger keeps treasure looting while Barbarian comes back to me, now with a new hammer of thunderbolts he's found, since DM apparently never learned his lesson about not giving this player powerful magic weapons with AoE abilities that could harm party members. I know that this isn't going to end well. He finds out about the gold dragon, goes into a rage, and starts chasing after Cleric to find and kill the dragon, with the reason being because my character is stubborn. Again. If he wants to go and get his character killed, fine. It's annoying, but it's up to him. I hate all this ridiculous character switching for no reason, and it makes it hard for any sort of party dynamic to form, but at least it will be amusing to see his character be immediately killed. Unfortunately though, this is not what happens. When he finally finds the dragon, she is already engaged in combat with an entirely different character that we don't recognize. DM goes on to describe this character and then inform us that he is Ranger's new PC. I'm pretty mad about this. Why is Ranger, whose character is crucial to the plotline, switching characters for no reason? And why are not one, but two characters now fighting an ancient gold dragon? I tell Gunslinger that we need to get out of there, and we do. Barbarian and Ranger's new character following behind. I guess we just leave Ranger's old character and the princess in the dragon's lair. The angered dragon follows them out as well to attack all of us, Cleric on her back. The dragon starts going into some evil speech, talking about how she is going to destroy the village and eat people, and immediately attacks us. I tell the DM, no, I am not fighting this thing. Our party does not stand a chance against an ancient gold dragon, and it could kill my squishy weakling of a necromancer in one hit, no problem. Then Cleric speaks up and says to the DM, what are you doing? You know that I'm going to side with my mom over the people I just met, but I don't want to do PvP, and they definitely don't have a chance against a gold dragon with a cleric healing her every round. Also, she's a gold dragon. She's supposed to be lawful good, and she doesn't eat people. Did you even watch that lore video I sent you? The DM responds with, well, this is my world, and here all dragons are evil. You do not get to roleplay your mom. That's too overpowered. I don't want to roleplay my mom, I just wanted her to be an ally. We weren't supposed to fight her. I sent you my backstory, which includes the fact that she's good. If dragons aren't good in your world, and you didn't want us to have her as an ally, why did you okay me playing this character? Cleric, not wanting to engage in PvP, and mad at the DM, proceeds to quit the campaign and leave right there. Now, I've had my issues with the Cleric, and his constant character switching, but I fully sided with him here. It seems that the DM wanted to force us into PvP and an extremely deadly encounter for no reason. Here's where I basically just start ranting to the DM about everything. I complain about the fact that he allows players to abuse OP magic items, that he encourages conflict within the party, and that his goal seems to be to make us all destroy each other. And I tell him that this is not the sort of game I want to be playing. If everyone else likes that kind of thing, fine, but I will not be playing anymore. I also bring up the fact that everyone is constantly switching characters, and that because of that, the story makes no sense anymore. Our mission is to save the princess, but now that the two characters sworn to serve and protect her that worked for the elves are no longer in the party, Paladin dead, Ranger switched, and the only person who would save her out of the goodness of his heart was the Cleric. Me and the others, we didn't even know her, and there was no reason for us to not just abandon the princess with the Ranger's old character while we did other stuff. This is when Ranger speaks up, saying that he didn't want to actually switch characters. The new character that DM introduced was one he sent to him as a backup character for if he died, who the DM decided to bring in early without his permission. Ranger said nothing because he was excited to play that character, but he regretted his decision. Gunslinger and Ranger agreed on all points that I make, and even Barbarian agrees with what the DM did to the Cleric was awful, even though Barbarian specifically made his character to be in conflict with the Cleric. This was the first character out of all his bland, disposable characters he actually seemed excited to play and was passionate about. The DM admits he majorly screwed up, and the campaign falls apart. There are no sessions for over a month, and the DM disappears. Eventually, Ranger decides that he liked the campaign enough and that he would take over as DM after retconning some of the past events, despite the fact that he was already running an Out of the Abyss campaign with most of the same people. But that's a whole nother story. I like the fact that OP voiced their concerns. I like the fact even more that everyone listened. So often everyone just ignores what's going on and just tries to roll with it, but sooner or later, enough is enough. If you're going to DM, pay attention to people's backstories and make sure that you show that you care at least a little and not have someone fight their own loving mother. What do you all think?